I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Exodus 3:6, NIV. This is the words of God, thanks to the God.
Prince and the Pauper is written by the American author Mark Twain. It's published in the US in 1882 and set into 16th century England. The stories revolve around the lives of two boys. One, Tom Candy, very poor beggar, Edward VI, a prince who they want to exchange identity. Very interesting story. The Tom's born in the slums of the London, the raised under the abused, and dreams about the royal life, finding solace in his imaginations. In the meanwhile, Edward, which is a prince, born into British royal family, living the luxury life, but they longing for the freedom from the constraints of the palace life. They meet each other, they're astonished by the very striking resemblance, and then decide to switch role about it. Once exchanging their identities, Tom experienced life in the palace as a prince, but unfortunately struggled with the loyal duties and political intricacies. On the other hand, Edward faced hardship on the street. He fighting for his own survival. Okay, that is happening right now. If one does not know who they are, they lost their identities. As a result, they might struggling with their actions or their own decision and eventually fail to endure the life trial, even if they managing just to endure so and so on. Outcomes might bring no real value. But however, as a Christian, the Christian life should be about achieving the success, gaining the meaningful value as a reward. Today, I'd like to do this one here, showing how to success your life as having some meaningful value as well. Hey friend, today we gather together meditating on the profound teachings of the Bible found in Exodus, the chapter 3 and 6, God of the Abraham, God of the Isaac, God of the Jacob. From that verses here, we're gonna get the understanding better, and we're gonna get the wisdom. Don't get lost in your way to get back on your right address of the God. If we does, then you're not gonna losing anything about it. Who those thinking they are wise by the stands of this world will be eventually foolish. But if they found the address of the God, they will become too wise. If they found their own identity, everything they do will have a true meaning. Only those who find the true meaning will giving the strength, endurance, while they are struggling. And then until they finally success, it will get you energy, okay? It is God's blessing. Today we discuss about it. So every single person who listen to this sermon, they're going to be success. They have enough strength to overcome, okay, the difficult while they are experiencing right now. First, observing the God's nature in promises to the Abraham, the Isaac, and Jacob, okay? So then you know that the God nature. What is the nature about it? So once you know the God nature, second, discover who you are through the God. That means you find the one, X, Y axis, and you have a Y axis, who you are, then it's going to be two coordinates. It's going to be second dimension here. Last dimension, which is a Z axis here. Once you know who you are, then you find your own mission. It's going to be three-dimensional sense right now. Once you three X, Y, Z coordinate, then your spot is going to be not going to change. It's stabilized as much as it can. Okay, then you find until you are become the solid until you get successful right now. I'm talking about this one here. So conclusion, you know who I am, and then you have to must take action based upon your destiny. So we discuss a very interesting story we're going to discuss today here. First, by knowing the Abraham, the Isaac, Jacob, you see the God's nature, okay? In the times of the difficulty, God revealed himself to Moses as God of the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is the simplest way to describe the God. when Moses was a burning bush with a barefoot, okay, God appeared and he introduced himself. Exodus chapter 3 and 6. I'm the God of your father, God of the Abraham, God is Isaac, God of the Jacob. Beside this explanation, how very simply explained about the God. About the God. What are you going to explain here? I was in the America, study abroad, and someone asking me about this word. What about Han, Korean Han? I can explain with a few sentences here. Another one too. When I was a seminary, and then they have some American, my fellows is a classmate talking about the relationship between Jonathan and David. I know easily to understanding about this is a friendship, okay, as a man, but they do not understanding those one like some different meaning, like so God the nature through the lineage of the faith, okay, is gonna be defeated through his act and history about that. So Abraham is a what is about it? He's representing the view God appear and in the sky that I will surely bless you, the making your descendants as numerous as stars in the sky, as sands on the seashore. So already I mentioned about the vision on the sky here. What is Isaac about it? Isaac is just a represented concept on the land. Digging the well as many he can go, then it's gonna water comes out. It's meaning the blessing from the cursing of the land. Okay, and they switch there right now. And the second, third one, the Jacob talking about we say that representing the mission. He's just the mission executor. Okay, with Joseph in the space, the feeling about the whole his nation. The God is set up to the sky, Isaac set up to the land, and at the inside they need something to filling in. It is the Israelite was about that. That's why you're talking about he is the one to fill into that space of here. So God relation is just very simply explaining about here personal and individual the contact in his nature. So, and the endurance with over the time is very interesting as well. He is faithful to the covenant, the promise, even if it take the 500 years of it. For example, he's a covenant with Abraham, the Genesis chapter 13. The metaphor of the star in the sky, sands by the sea, it actually originating about the BC 2000, while the Exodus occurred 500 years later in approximately BC 1500, it's taking place here. That means that his promise with the time, we needed some endurance right now, okay? Number 4, we're talking about that. Universal pattern. First one, individual contact from the individual and it become to the nation right now. So expanding just we can see right now, the shift from the singular to plural to the multi, the evident as God's grace. So expanding right now. Beginning to the Abraham, the individual contact to become to the nation of the 2,000 people beyond the community. Extension to reach the Gentile, the New Testament, representing in the theological work frame established by the Paul, making the God redemptive work in Christian history. That means one, it becomes a trillion. It's a productivity and it produced prosperous right now. We're talking about this kind of thing. So God nature revealed through the lineage of the 3 ancestor figure become to prosperous here. So we very simply commentary say that Abraham it represents the father of the faith. Isaac is become the children of the promise. Jacob is become the father of the nation. Those are things we discuss about it, that those figure played role in the God's plan, emphasize how God engaged with the people across the generation, highlight his covenantal the faithfulness and spanning through the race and beyond the generation. So God revealed himself through the Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, showcasing and his creativity continuity in filling space with the time. So again, filling space with time, continuity. He's created that. His creation is not done yet, still going on with us here. So we are the part of that creation. We moving on here right now. So we discuss about discovering who I am. That is Joseph. I like to quote very easily for us to understand here. Joseph very famous answer to Genesis chapter 15 to 19. Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of the God?" The verses highlight Joseph's humility and humanity. However, it's most important that the commentary is missing this part here. His knowledge of the God's sovereignty is in understanding right now. He's showing that Joseph understood himself as being the part of the God's providential plan. That's it. That's why he can't overcome here. That's why he cannot punish his brother. That's why he said, "Take my bone out of the Egypt when you get it out of here," because he doesn't yet 430 years yet. He already giving to the mention to here. We need get it out of this Egypt. Take my bone out here. That's why he said that here. So to knowing you, okay, self-discovery through the God's perspective here. Joseph found his identity in the God, recognized his central role in the God's work, which is aligned with the God's overarching act of the creation. To participate in God's work, we must realize that just as God worked through the Abraham, the Isaac, the Jacob, his creative work continues through us right even today, right now. Okay. And the success of his act of the faith, God delights in our success. Through this process here, his presence is acknowledged just as he made Joseph success. That means he will make us to success. He will continue to touching us right now. So 2 Corinthians chapter 9 and 8 say that God is able to bless you abundantly, so that is all things all the time, having all you need. You will bound in every good work. So we are the co-working with the God, the creative plan, striving for the success, allied with his will, and share his joy. Joseph understood this deeply, this matter, which is reflect his life and his attitude. So don't be upset. Don't be angry. You are one of the central role in the God's plan here. So once you know who you are, okay, we found the mission. This is like a last coordinate, which is Z coordinate right now. Maxlow, the hierarchy of needs, is a step, is a 5 step. 1 is survival, 4 stability, 3 love, 2 esteem, and then number first one, self-actualization. Final self-step, which is self-actualization, is kicking to your endorphin, your brain here. According to Harvard Business Review, the first workable capability, very important right now, the people be successful. Next one, have the full condition we need. One is curiosity, second, empathy, and third, insight, and fourth, boldness. Okay. So you have even 4 whole things right now. Okay. Then you getting reached self-actualization. You have to do mission, which is related to overcoming inferiority, which is discover your impurity is very important right now. So even though your 4 step you achieve right now, so you have to link in with the last one, your mission. The mission is overcoming to impurity is very important right now. Discovering the impurity, okay? You do something here, whatever you can do, what's your past, your experience impurity. This is your kind of the feel, okay? So don't be shame on that. This is very important right now. So overlay the inferiority on the background of the God. So it's called, we say mission, and it's called, we're calling. Once a mission to arise from the Bible, the prayer, the James, like first chapter 17, Every good and perfect gift is from the above, coming down from the Father of the heaven, the light. That's not changing like a shifting shadow. He's not going to change anything about it because it becomes your destiny. So today, Joseph role and then acting like a executor of his mission. If we understand in Joseph the perspective, you can discern what the God the desire of us here. So practically implication, salvation of the followed people, like my case, born in the refugee in some like a village, and talking about the donkey Buddha and the mission something, the people living same like a area in the refugee area, those kind of things is become the global mission to incorporate with the North Korean mission. So eventually we go back to again the Prince and the Pauper, the story, the Mark Twain story. Eventually they return back to the original places and having the gained a new perspective. Edward King and it becomes more just best ruler here. And Tom realized orphan world once he desired, it was not actually he want. And he found some good way and understanding better life here. So two guys, boys, and then they gained some new perspective right now. Now, if you do born as a prince, okay, based upon to the God providence, then you acting like a princess right now. Don't be beggar. So beggar doesn't do anything to you. So you got your identification as a prince. You have to do your own mission and you got the own destiny. Here I'm leaving you today. I'm carrying this lesson in your heart, living each days with a faith, trusting God the guidance, having a good blessing the weeks ahead. See you next time. Thank you.